again, Warren here with the Peach State Prime Transformers channel, and today is Thursday, June 4th. Gotta check the date, and there's actually been a few leaks that have come out that are kind of interesting that'll likely go up for pre-order perhaps tomorrow, Friday, June 5th. And whether you get a chance to watch this video before or after that time, because I believe this video will likely release probably afterwards. But nevertheless, I did want to give my perspective on these new leaks for these new releases that are coming out. So if you see them on a store shelf at one particular store, and we'll get into that, or, when the pre-orders are up, maybe this will help you decide, which way you want to go. So, of course, if you haven't seen it yet, what was revealed is that we got 3 new entries into the Transformers the Movie, the 1986 one, Studio Series, More Than Meets the Eye collection. That is the Target exclusive line. And again, it's just a mouthful. But we got 2 single releases. We have 1 Deluxe, 1 Voyager, and 1 3-pack. Target does this summer Geek-Out thing. So that's probably where these images are coming from. And this is the day before that's expected to be announced. So that's why they're technically leaks. But we do have images. So the first one we're going to talk about, and probably the one I like the most out of these reveals, for personal reasons, is we are getting a new Prowl. I say new, I know this particular version of Prowl has been out before. There might be some slight differences here, but not all that many. I think it looks great. I think he looks just like he did his small appearance in the movie. He's most famous for dying in the movie, and we did get a figure of that. But this is a nice clean version and really looks like he did at least in the 86 show, or 86, the G1 show, 84, 85, season 1 and 2. So, I think I'll be getting this one, and the reason why is I've skipped every other Prowl release since we first had Generations. And when I say Generations, I'm talking about this Prowl figure, who has done an excellent job, representing the character in my collection. But I think it's time for me to upgrade to something that really resembles the character from the classic fiction and show. This itself is a good toy, but it does have a few issues here and there. Especially with, this being more of a reddish orange than just a bright red like we're getting on this release. So, I think I might actually pick up that Prowl. So I definitely like that one. The second one, the Voyager that was announced, is, in fact, Starscream. Now, this Starscream, from everything I know and can tell without owning any of the new Seeker molds, this is the new Seeker mold, the one that we got Skywarp and Thundercracker from. And, in comparing it to the Starscream I have, which is the Earthrise one, definitely appears so, that it is the newer mold. I think it looks great. I honestly do. I think it looks very cartoon accurate, both to the movie and, of course, the show. Both in robot mode and, jet mode. That is just a classic-looking Starscream. Now, so far, I've kind of made the decision not to go after the new Seeker molds, because I just completed the Earthrise ones, and this is my Starscream here. I mean, no, the colors are not quite as bright as, you know, cartoon accurate, or, you know, and there's a few details that the new mold gets in favor of, you know, the animation versus what we got in Earthrise here. But for the most part, I've been happy with these. And heck, I was you know, happy with that classic Seeker mold that was deluxe scale. And then these guys came out, and, you know, we just keep evolving. So I think I'm going to keep the new Seeker mold reserved for purchase when they do a character they haven't done before, like a you know, a Sunstorm that has a or a Nacelle that has an Earthbound jet, or Earth style jet mode versus a Cybertronian one. So if Hasbro releases those, yeah, I mean, heck, even we didn't get, they're right behind me. Yeah, we didn't get an Acid Storm, I don't think, yet either. So, you know, I'd love to do that. I'm also missing Ramjet from that set. So, you know, either I'll eventually pick up the Earthrise Ramjet mold, which was re-released in Legacy, or, you know, if they get to the cone heads in this new mold, by all means, I might just do that to make them stand out more. But anyways, if you don't have a Starscream, this one looks good to me. And if I didn't have this Starscream already, that's a Voyager, I'd probably be going after it, because for one thing, I really love the face sculpt on it. He has that classic Starscream smirk. The last thing that was revealed is our 3-pack. And the 3-pack is actually of the Insecticons. We have Bombshell, Shrapnel, and Kickback, all keeping their original names with, you know, the word Insecticon in front of it. Works for me. I'm happy with that. So in this pack, and I think this is a really good pack here, you know, you get, you know, Kickback and Shrapnel, you know, are very similar to their previous releases of these molds. The biggest difference, I mean, there's some paint app differences here and there, but the biggest difference is that their chests are no longer clear or translucent like they were in the original releases. They're now solid, which is, of course, more animation accurate. So I can see where, you know what, I'm a little crooked here. I can see where, you know, fans are going to be, and collectors are going to be all over that. I personally think the translucent looks kind of cool. So, I don't really have, you know, a new need there. The biggest difference, at least in my opinion, in this set is Bombshell. A lot of people, and I have the figure here, a lot of people were turned off by the original release of this Bombshell mold, because they have the purple that was in, you know, it was more there for the bug mode or the beetle mode. The purple really wasn't super accurate to how the character's been depicted in robot mode. And you can see in that new release, not only does he not have this clear chest anymore like the other two had, which again, I still kind of like. They switched him out for the more classic gray torso. You know, I know it's been, you know, kind of gray, blackish, but this is definitely more animation accurate in the robot mode. Not necessarily in the bug mode, but, you know, we like these mostly for the robot modes, and that's usually what we want. At least in everybody I've talked to, that's usually what we're looking for in terms of accuracy, is that bot mode. So, and then to round out this set, they actually gave you some Energon cubes, which I think is really cool. It looks like you get 6 of them, and they're just, you know, kind of all stacked in the package there. But, you know, I think that's a neat little accessory for them. However, I do have the same opinion of these as I do of the Starscream. Is, you know, I have the original releases of these figures, and despite being more animation accurate, including especially Bombshell, I'm happy. I'm happy with my purple torsoed Bombshell. Um, you know, could you get the Insecticons and see, here's the trick though. Okay, first let me back up. If you don't have this set, this is probably, I don't know the price on this yet, but, you know, I would think, okay, it's probably going to be priced around, you know, the other deluxe box sets that we've seen. And, you know, deluxe is going close to $30. I'd say this is going to be between an $80 and $90 set. Let's be real. It's not great, but if we're pricing it out as 3 deluxes. You know, if you have that money on you and you don't have this full set, this is probably one to pick up. The other thing, and I'm not in this camp, but if you already have the first releases, this still might be worth picking up. Because as we all know from the G1 cartoon and some of the other G1 fiction, this could be a troop builder set. As you know, the Insecticons have the ability to, I don't know what the right word is, duplicate themselves. It would make perfect sense to have multiples, and frankly, I would think the matte colored, the opaque colored ones could be your clones, and the original releases with the clear could be your, you know, your, the originals, put it that way. Especially if you buy more than one of this box set, you know, and since these are readily available, it makes more sense to make them the troop builders. With that also in mind, you know, they released those little basic Insecticons, not long, you know, I say not long ago, but it was. But the little basic or Legends core class ones, I have those on display with my deluxe Insecticons for the same reason. You know, I say, oh, they're the clones or the duplicates. So with that logic, if you even have 1 or 2 of these figures, but not all of them, and you have the extra money, then yeah, go ahead and you got a troop builder set there, in addition to your missing figure. Even though, you know, the chests may not match, but, you know, what you gonna do? But again, I'm happy with what I got and with the room I have on my shelf. I don't have a room for a swarm of Insecticons, or a plague of Insecticons, but it's a good set. I think Hasbro and Target have 3 good releases on their hands. Nothing to really complain about, and again, I want to get that Prowl, and likely to skip the other 2 just because of other figures I'm happy with in my collection, but, you know, if I was lucky and got a good deal on them for some reason, you know, it's not that I don't want them, it's just I gotta prioritize. But again, if I did get a good deal, maybe I'd add them one day. But anyways, like to hear your thoughts on these new figures. You know, feel free to leave a comment here, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like here on YouTube. Definitely helps the channel out. And feel free to subscribe for more content like this, and that way you know when it's released. You know, whether we're looking at upcoming releases or stuff that's brand new out or has been out for a while. Like to try to cover it all and, you know, kind of have a balance here on the channel. And of course, if you are into just other fun videos, I do have my original channel simply called Peach State Prime, which does also cover just, again, fun stuff, whether it be tourist attractions, travel videos, events, amusement parks, fun places to eat and shop, other nerdy stuff that isn't only Transformers. So check that out in your spare time and maybe subscribe there. Anyways, again, I want to thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you have a great day, and God bless.